welcome to Game 3 of the 1982 Strat-O-Matic National League Championship Series. For anybody that's new watching and thinking that the Expos and Dodgers didn't play in the 82 NLCS in real life, you are correct. This is generated from a season-long project of the NBC Game of the Week using the Strat-O-Matic computer to sim everything else. And the two division winners ended up being the Expos and the Dodgers. Hence, that's where we are right now. First two games were in Montreal, and the Expos won them both. So pressure's on for the Dodgers. They have to win 3 in a row, or Tommy Lasorda will be very sad, and the Expos will go to the World Series for the first time in their history. Pitching matchup for the Dodgers, getting the important start on the mound, is left-hander Jerry Royce, 18-11 with a 3.11 ERA. For the Expos, they will counter with right-hander Bill Gullickson, 12-14 with a 3.57 ERA. So those are the starting pitchers. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. And for the Expos, it's pretty much the same. The Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda's kind of mixing it up a bit, try to shake things up and see if he can get his offense going. For the Expos, it's Raines, Oliver, Dawson, Carter, Wallach, Cromartie, Spire, Flynn, and Gullickson. That's pretty standard. For the Dodgers, substituted Ken Landreau, benched him, and brought in Rick Mundy. So we're going to have Sachs, Monday, Guerrero, and with Mundy being, he doesn't play center field. He's not rated for center field, so he's in right, which means we have to put Guerrero to center. So that's going to hurt them a little bit defensively, but they need offense. Say, Garvey, Baker, Socha, Russell, and Royce round out the lineup for the Dodgers. So desperate times call for desperate measures, and Tommy Lasorda going for a different lineup to see if he can shake things up a bit. All right, for the Expos, leading things off will be Tim Raines, left fielder. Nothing shaking up about that. That's pretty standard. Tim Raines, and of course, if you're Jerry Royce and the Dodgers, you want to keep Raines off the base pass. Got the dice all blue for the Dodger blue. No red in there for the Expos. It's all blue for the Dodgers. So see if that gives the Dodgers any positive vibes. We shall see. So Jerry Royce facing Tim Raines. Before I get started, ballpark effects for Dodger Stadium. Singles are 1-4 for lefties, 1-9 for righties. Home runs are 1-2 for both. All right, now I think we're ready to go. Jerry Royce facing Tim Raines. Expos lead at 2-0. It's do or go home for the Dodgers. Get a 5-4. Switch it to batting right-handed. 5-4 is a fly ball center field X. And of course, when you move Guerrero to center and weaken your defense, the first batted ball is going to be hit to center field. So that's just the way it is. But that's what they knew going into it. So Guerrero's a 4.9. 4 and an 8. We'll see if Guerrero can get to that. A 4 and an 8 for a center fielder is a single 2 stars, so he will not get to it. A 3 center fielder, 1, 2, or 3 would have gotten to it. A 4 does not. So that will be a single. There is an 11 there. I don't think an E9 is a problem. There's no error, but it's going to drop in for a base hit as Guerrero was unable to get to it with his limited range. And that's the price you pay, but sometimes you have to gamble. All right, catcher and pitcher combinations for hold ratings. Jerry Royce is a -1. Socha is a -1, so a net -2. And then 2 for being held makes it a total of -4. So if Raines gets a jump, it's a 1-15. To get a jump, he needs 2 through 6 or an 11. That's a 9, so there's no jump there, so Raines will not try it. Without getting a good lead, he will just have to stay there, but of course he will be held. And that brings up first baseman Al Oliver. He is a hit and run B. With the runner Raines being held, that makes him a hit and run A. So we're going to do a hit and run. And of course, in Super Advanced, with that hit and run, it could go off the pitcher card if you get the 4, 5, or 6 on the white die. So we'll see what happens. It is a 3, so we're actually going off the hit and run chart. And the hit and run chart, Super Advanced hit and run chart, we got a total of 4 on the blue dice. And he is a hit and run A. So 4 and a hit and run A is a ground ball first base C. So it'll move the runner up as Garvey steps on the bag. Raines will take second base. So they didn't get a hit, but they did move the runner up to second base. And he's in scoring position for Andre Dawson. And of course, Raines will have to be held. Roll for the havoc on Royce. He's got wild pitch and balk chances, but nothing there. So you got to be careful with Andre Dawson. Don't call him the Hawk for nothing. 3-6 against a lefty, and that's trouble. 1-9 is a double. 10-20 is a single. That's a 20. It's a single, but it's 2 stars. So Tim Raines will come across the plate and score. And early on, the Expos jump on the Dodgers and lead it 1-0. Just that quickly. And Lasorda again just can't believe it. He can't catch a break. And Andre Dawson will be looking to get a jump. He can do that on a 2 through 5, 11, or 12. Can't get the jump, so he will stay there. He will be held, of course. For the catcher, Gary Carter. No hit and run from Carter. They're just going to have him swing away. See what he can do against Royce. 3-2 against a lefty. That's a hit by pitch. Good thing it wasn't a 2-2. That would have been a low max. 3-2 is a hit by pitch. So Royce lets one get away and plunks Gary Carter. No malintent there. That was just a break-in pitch that didn't break. So first and second now with 1 out for Tim Wallach. Wallach is a decent double play combination candidate rather. So Dodgers hoping they can turn that. Nothing on the havoc. Royce to Wallach, 5-6. That's a ground ball shortstop B. They just 5-7 would have been a double play. 5-6 is just going to be a fielder's choice. So it's going to go 6-4 on the fielder's choice to retire Carter at second base. Wallach is safe at first. Dawson will take third. So runners on the corners with 2 away. And Warren Cromartie, the batter. Wallach is good enough of a threat to steal to be held, but he's not going to try anything. So they will have to hold him on, though. Royce for the havoc. Nothing going on. Here's the Crow, Warren Cromartie. Drop down below Wallach because of the lefty. 5-11, and that's a ballpark single check, which is a 1-4 for the lefties. That's an 18, so that's going to be a liner to second, and the inning's over. So I guess Royce fortunate to only allow the 1 run the way the inning started, but the Expos do take a 1-0 lead, and they hand it over to Bill Gullickson here in the bottom of the first. Gullickson will be facing Sachs, Monday, and Guerrero. So Rick Monday getting his first action of the NLCS. I think he may have pinch hit in one of the games, I'm not sure, but certainly his first start. Here's Steve Sachs. 6-4 off of Gullickson. Catcher X. Gary Carter's a 1E4. 1-17. 1-17 for a catcher is a G2, so it's a little number in front of the plate. That's an 8, and he's an E4. There is no 8, so it's just going to be a 2-3 ground out as Carter pounces out from behind the plate to get the swift running Sachs. And there's 1 away. And now here's Rick Monday with his first opportunity to start in the NLCS. On the 82 season, he hit 257 in 210 at-bats with 11 home runs. So they benched Landreau and went with Rick Monday. See if that works out for him or not. Gullickson to Monday. 1-8, and he struck him out. So that didn't work on the first at bat, at least. On that 1-8, and just looking at Landreau, 1-8 would have been a ground ball back to Gullickson, so that wouldn't have been any better for him either. So just in case you were wondering, here is Pedro Guerrero. 6-9, and that's an in-home run chance on a 1-15. That's a 10, so it's an in-home run chance, and he definitely has the power. So Pedro Guerrero, first time I can remember him doing something of importance in this NLCS, and he comes through with a solo shot to tie the game at a run apiece. So just like that, the Dodgers are back in business. Guerrero with the big hit. So that'll bring up Ron Say, the Penguin. So he hurt him defensively in the first inning, but then he makes up for it with his bat. 5-10 is a ballpark single, which on a right-hander is a 1-9. That's a 3. So it's a base hit for the Penguin, Ron Say. He will reach. Of course, he will not be held. He doesn't run all that well. He will not be held. And here's Steve Garvey. I believe he nicknamed him Popeye. 2 is a possible balk or pass ball. We're checking a 6, so it's possible pass ball on Scioscia. And for some reason, I didn't write his pass ball rating down. I don't know why. Didn't do it for Carter either. It's kind of weird. He is a pass ball rating of 6. So his throwing error rating is a 7 and his pass ball is a 6. So it's a pass ball rating of 6. If we roll a 1 to 6, it's a pass ball. I'm sorry, we're looking at Carter, not Scioscia. My bad. Carter is a 5 and a 2. So he's a T5 and a PB2. So we need a 1 or a 2 to be a pass ball. And it's not going to happen. So it's blocked, no pass ball. Pitch to Garvey. 1-5 for Garvey. Single, 2 stars. That'll move Say to third base. Runners on the corners for the Dodgers. Inning's not over yet. All this with 2 outs and the bases clear. Started with the home run from Guerrero. Maybe it's their kickstarter they needed. I don't know. But 2 on. Garvey's not going to be held. Havoc on Gullickson. Nothing going on. Here's Baker. 6-3 for Baker. Fly ball left field X. That is Cromartie. I'm sorry, that is Raines rather. A 4-E-3. Oh, and a 4 and a 1. That's not good for Raines. A 4 and a 1 is going to be extra bases, I assume. 4 and a 1 is actually a triple. That's going to clear the bases. A 2-run triple for Dusty Baker. And we'll check and make sure there's no error. But it's a 2-run triple for Dusty Baker. And the Dodgers grab a 3-1 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. That is a 9, and Raines is an E3. E3, there is no 9, so there's no error on the play, but it is a 2-out triple for Dusty Baker. And the Dodgers now lead it 3-1 here in the bottom of the first. They may not be done yet. Here comes Scioscia. Gullickson now. Rough first inning. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch. A 1 to 10, and the run scores. That is a 10. It's a wild pitch, so I wrote that 3 in there prematurely, it seems. And what did I do with my little... Of course, when I think I have everything in front of me, I don't have my little correction tape that I thought I had. So I need to get that. Pause the video while I get that. Okay, so serves me right for being premature on that. I did put the correction tape on there, and the Dodgers now lead it 4-1. Bases are clear. Scioscia, the batter, against Gullickson. 1-6. That's a line out to first to end the inning, but Dodgers put up 4 on Gullickson, and he may not be around too much longer, as the Expos bullpen is well rested. So, particularly with the day off for travel, they do have Ray Burris and is a long reliever, and so is Bryn Smith. So is Woody Fryman, for that matter. So they've got quite a few selections that they could go to in long relief if they need it. But I imagine they'll give Gullickson maybe another inning just to see if he can straighten himself out. First now, it's top of the second, and Chris Spire, batter against Jerry Royce. All of a sudden, he's got a 3-run lead to work with. 1-5 for Spire. That's a single. Straight out single for Chris Spire. And back come the Expos. Spire will not be held. And that's going to bring up Doug Flynn. Havoc roll for Royce. Nothing happening. Here's Flynn. 3-8 for Flynn, and that is a ground ball third base A, a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Thought about hitting and running with Flynn. I probably should have, but too late to worry about it now. It's already in the books as a 5-4-3 double play. And so 2 quick outs, and that brings up the pitcher, Bill Gullickson, against Royce, 6-9. And look at this. He's going to get a base hit off of Jerry Royce. Bill Gullickson off the pitcher card. Jerry Royce gets a base hit. So 2-out single for Gullickson. Brings up Tim Raines. Havoc roll for Royce. Nothing happening. 6-3, and that's going to be a fly ball right field X. That is the right fielder, Rick Mundy. He's a 4-E-15. 4 and a 14 probably is going to be okay. 4 and a 14 is an F2, so there's no problem there, but there's a 15 total. That could be a problem. An E15 and a 15, amazingly, is no error. How do you like that? An E15, there is no 15. There's a 12, 14, 17, and 18, but there's no 15. So somehow Rick Monday hauls it in, takes extra bases away from Tim Raines perhaps, and ends the inning. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 4-1 Dodgers. And now Gullickson back out, facing the number 8 hitter, Bill Russell. And Gullickson will see if he can't settle in this inning. 1-3 for Russell. That's a fly to left. Hauled in by Raines. 1 down. Brings up the pitcher, Jerry Royce. He uses pitcher hitting card number 3. 6-8. Royce bats left-handed. 6-8. And that's a base hit. A single off the pitcher card. So both pitchers have base hits, and they've done it off the pitcher card, not their own card. So that's the advantage or the disadvantage of the 50-50 split, if you want to look at it that way. Royce is aboard. Of course, he will not be held, but we do need the havoc roll for Gullickson. Nothing happening. Here's Steve Sachs. 5-3. It's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4 E19. 4 and a 15 for Gullickson. Take a look and see what that presents. 4 and a 15 is a G2, so we've got a fielder's choice coming. But that's a 5, so rare play on the 5. So let's see what the rare play says on a G2. All right, G2, rare play. Says batter lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher to the fielder who makes the play to first for the out. Runner advanced if forced. Runners advance if forced, yeah, okay. All right, so let's see here. So it's not going to be a fielder's choice. Instead, it's going to be the play is going to go to first, and Royce will advance to second on that. So Sachs is going to be out. We'll call it 1 to 4 to 3, I guess, for out number 2. Just try to be a little creative there. Royce is at second base now with 2 down for Rick Monday. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Gullickson to Monday. 4-9, and that's a single 2 stars, and that will score the run. So that rare play putting Royce at second base produces an extra run for the Dodgers, and they take a 5-1 lead on the base hit by Monday. And now the Expo bullpen is in full force, as they do have the right-hander Ray Burris loosening in the bullpen. Right now, here's Guerrero. He hit that big home run to get him jump-started in the first inning. 3-11, that's a walk, so they didn't want any part of Guerrero this time around. But the Dodgers have 2 on with 2 outs for Ron Say. Gullickson might not be too much longer for this game. 1 chance for a wild pitch. That's a 4. It's his second wild pitch of the game. Had 1 last inning, got 1 this inning. So wild pitch it is. Puts runners at second and third with 2 down, and here Ron Say still at the plate. 2-7, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases for Steve Garvey. And you wonder if Gullickson can pitch to Garvey or whether you take him out. Garvey did single off of him his first time up. I think they're going to pull Gullickson here. I don't think you can go with Gullickson any further at all. So they will turn to the bullpen. And it will be, actually will not be Ray Burris, it'll be Bryn Smith, who's more of a traditional reliever, so he doesn't need quite as long to warm up. Bryn Smith, 2-4 with a 4.20 ERA, 1 start and 3 saves. So Bryn Smith will be the new pitcher for the Expos. Unfortunately, Gullickson only goes an inning and 2/3, and he's going to have a terrible line. Going to give up at least 5 runs, but he's responsible for all 3. He could give up to 8 runs. We'll see what happens. Bases loaded, 2 down. Bryn Smith, the havoc roll. Nothing happening. Smith to Garvey. Dodgers looking to blow it wide open right here. 6-7. Ground ball second base X. That is Flynn. He's a 2E15. 2 and a 7. He should get to that. 2 and a 7 is a G2, which is good enough. That's an 8, and he's an E15. There is no 8. So finally, the inning is over. Only 1 run scores. It could have been a lot worse. So we can close the book now on Gullickson. He's going to give up in 1 2/3 innings. He's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He's going to walk 2. He's going to strike out just the 1 and give it a big home run. So terrible line for Gullickson. He just didn't have it, and the Expos couldn't afford to go any further with him if they wanted to stay in this game. So they've got the offense to come back. It's just a matter of whether they can or not. Jerry Royce again enjoying now a 4-run lead. We'll be facing Al Oliver to start the 3rd. 4-8 against the lefty. That's a leadoff single for Al Oliver, so don't count the Expos out just yet. Oliver will not be held. He's not a very good base runner, so he will not be held. Royce with the havoc. Nothing happening. Here's the Hawk, Andre Dawson. 4-7 against a right-hander. That's a strikeout. So big strikeout there for Royce to get Dawson. 1 away for Gary Carter. And the havoc for Royce. Nothing happening. Here's Gary Carter. 6-12. That's a fly ball to center. 2 down. Put away out there by Mr. Guerrero. 2 down for Tim Wallach. Nothing happening. Royce to Wallach, 4-9. 1's a double. Anything else is a single 2 stars. That's a 9, so it's single 2 stars. And that will move Oliver to 3rd base. So runners are at the corners with 2 down for the Crow, Warren Cromartie. He's got a chance to do some damage. Wallach will not be held. Royce, nothing on the havoc. Royce to Cromartie. 3-9 for Cromartie, and he grounds it to Sachs to end the inning. So the Expos strand 2 and come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, still 5-1 Dodger blue, and these blue dice must be providing the karma the Dodgers need to turn their game around, their series around, perhaps. Here's Dusty Baker to lead it off. He tripled his first time up. 3-10 against a right-hander this time is a fly to right, and there's 1 away. So Baker is retired. Brings up Sosha. 2-12 for Sosha, and he's going to hit a low max. He lined out to first in the 1st inning. Now he's going to line out to 2nd. Would have been a low max, but nobody's on base, so just a straight line out. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Bill Russell. 1-9, and that's ground ball to short. So Bryn Smith has retired all 4 he has faced so far. Now he is scheduled to bat this inning, but boy, you almost hate to take him out because he's pitching so well. And he's not a very good hitter, obviously, but that's a tough decision. They'll have to make it pretty quickly because he bats 3rd this inning. Probably going to depend on whether Spire or Flynn get on base. It's a 5-9, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-3, but that's a 5, so it will be a double. Will be a double. Now Spire is weak against lefties, so it would have only been a single here, but here he gets the benefit of a double. So Chris Spire has singled, and now he has doubled. And he doubles to lead off the inning. Expos have had the leadoff man on every time. Just haven't cashed in. Here's Doug Flynn. Royce to Flynn. 5-6 against a right-hander. Ground ball to short. That'll hold the runner at 2nd base. And now they're going to take Bryn Smith out because they need They need offense. So Bryn Smith pitches a third of an inning and a third rather, and gives up nothing. And I believe Ray Burris will be the new pitcher that comes in for the Expos. Meanwhile, we'll go to the Expo bench. Francona is one of the better hitters, but he's left-handed. So I think they're looking to a right-hander in this particular situation. And they're going to go to Joel Youngblood. Joel Youngblood, 240 hitter on the season with 3 home runs. So Joel Youngblood will pinch hit for Bryn Smith. So Joel Youngblood can see if he can get something to keep the inning going against Mr. Royce. 2 is chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're checking pass ball, and it's a 6 for Sosha as a pass ball rating. 11, so Sosha blocks it. So we keep going. Here's Youngblood. 4-9, and that's a double 1 star, or 2 stars, or a single 2 stars. That's a single 2 stars. Single 2 stars, and that will score the run. So a pinch hit single by Youngblood drives home Chris Spire, cuts the lead to 5-2, and back come the Expos. Back come the Expos, and as it turns out, had we let Bryn Smith hit, it came off the pitcher card, so he would have gotten a hit anyway. But you never know these things when you're playing. All right, so Tim Raines is up. Youngblood, check his run rating. Not very good, so he will not be held. Royce with the havoc, nothing happening. Here's Raines. 6-8, and that's ground ball shortstop B, fielder's choice. We go 6-4. Raines is the new runner. He could try to get in scoring position. I think he will. He's going to trying to look to steal. We already know if he gets the jump, it's a 1-15, but he needs 2 through 6 or an 11. 11, so he does get the jump. So he needs a 1-15 to steal second base. And he does. Stolen base for Tim Raines. And you might wonder, why are you stealing when you're down 5-2? Well, if he steals second, a base hit will cut the lead to 5-3. So that's why you do it. And it's a gamble, but you take the risk sometimes. Royce now to Al Oliver. That's a 1, so a wild pitch of 1-6. It's a 1, so it's a wild pitch, and that will move Raines up to third base. So Raines is now at third with 2 outs. Royce, nothing on the havoc this time, facing Al Oliver. 4-6 against a lefty. That's a ground ball to second. 4-7 would have been a big base hit. Actually, with a 20, it wouldn't have been a base hit, but it would have been a lot closer. Steady grounds to sacks, and the Expos just come away with 1. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. So we go to the bottom of the 4th, and we'll need a new pitcher for Montreal, as they had to pinch hit for Bryn Smith. So we'll go to the bullpen for the Expos and see who they have that they want to bring out. I believe it's going to be Ray Burris, but I could be wrong. Let's see who's coming up for the Dodgers. It's Royce Saxon. Actually, they got 2 lefties coming up. So they're going to bring a lefty in. They're not going to bring in Burris. They're going to bring in Woody Fryman, the lefty. So Woody Fryman, on the 82 season, 9-4, 3.75 ERA, and 12 saves. So one of their better relievers, but they're trying to keep the game close. So they're going to bring him in, Woody Fryman. Kind of unconventional to bring him in this early, but they're going to do it. And Royce, the leadoff man, will step to the plate against Woody Fryman. We get a 4-10. Royce a lefty. 4-10's a catcher X. That is Gary Carter. He's a 1E4. 1 and a 13 for a catcher. 1 and a 13 as a foul out. That is a 15, and he's an E4. There's a 16, 17, and 18, but no 15. So Gary Carter gets Royce to foul out. 1 away. Flips the order over to Steve Sachs. So we'll see what Sachs can do. 4-7. Woody Fryman against a righty. 1-13 is a single. That's a 5. It's a base hit, Steve Sachs. And he could be looking to run, although Fryman is a -2. Gary Carter is a -3. It's a -5. +2 for being, or -2 for being held is a -7. So not a very good chance for Sachs to steal it. Even if he gets the jump, it's only a 1 to 10. So I think with 1 out, they're going to hold Sachs there. Of course, Sachs will be held on. And that will send up Rick Monday. Rick Monday is up. Havoc for Fryman, nothing happening. Fryman to Mundy. 2-8 for Mundy, struck him out. Mundy not very good against lefties, obviously. So 2 down now for Guerrero, who is very good against lefties. So we'll see if Fryman can negotiate the Guerrero at bat. Get a 4-7. 1 to 13 is a single. That is a base hit, but it's only 1 star, so Sachs will only go to second base. So first and second, 2 down. And that brings up the Penguin, Ron Say, as Fryman tries to pitch out of this mess. Nothing on the Havoc. 5-9. Ground ball to short. That'll do it. They'll go to short way 6-4 to end the inning. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the 5th. It's still 5-2 Dodgers over the Expos. But of course, only 3-run difference, so it's still anybody's game, especially the way the Expos can hit the ball. And the heart of the order is coming up. Dawson, Carter, and Wallach against Jerry Royce. 3-9 for Dawson. Struck him out. Big strikeout there. He struck out twice. Royce has had his number. Here's Gary Carter. Carter on the day hit by a pitch and flew to center. 5-6. He's going to ground to short. Russell's right there. 2 down. So Royce keeping things stable for the Dodgers. Here's Tim Wallach. Royce to Wallach. 4-9. And that's a 1 for a double. Anything else is a single. So that is a single for Tim Wallach. A 2-out single. His second hit of the game. They will hold him on, but he won't go anywhere. For the Crow, Warren Cromartie. Nothing on the Havoc. 2-9 for Cromartie. 1 is a single, but that's a 19, so it's a liner to Garvey. And the inning's over. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 5-2. And Fryman, still out there, will face Garvey, Baker, and Scioscia here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-5 for Garvey, struck him out. So nicely done there by Fryman, trying to keep his team in the game. Here's Dusty Baker, had a big triple in the first inning. 3-7, and this time he grounds it to second, where Mr. Flynn is there. 2 down. For Scioscia, lefty on lefty, and Scioscia does not hit lefties well either. 6-8, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Woody Fryman, his day is done. He went 2 innings because he's going to be pinch hit for in the next inning. So he goes 2 innings, and he allows 2 hits, no runs, doesn't walk anybody, and strikes out 3. So nice outing there by Woody Fryman. And the Expos will go to their bullpen again in the 6th. But first they need a pinch hitter after Spire and Flynn hit. So as we peruse the bench for the Expos, they've already used Youngblood. They do have switch hitter Jerry White. And they also have, let's see, is White very good or not? 243. They could go with Francona anyway because he's a pretty good hitter either way, but I think they're going to play the percentages and go with Jerry White, switch hitter. So White, the switch hitter, will be coming on for the Expos here in the bottom of the 6th after Spire and Flynn. Spire is singled and doubled, 2 for 2. 1-6 against a lefty, and that's a 1-6 home run. That's a 4. That is gone. Chris Spire, a home run. He's a triple away from the cycle, which I've never had. In all the years I've been doing this, I've never had a cycle, but Spire homers and cuts the lead to 5-3. And now Tommy Lasorda starting to sweat a little bit. Here's Doug Flynn. 2-8 for Flynn. That's a fly to left, one away. And now that brings up the pinch hitter Jerry White on the 82 season. 243 hitter. That's the best average on the bench other than Francona. So, but we're playing the percentages because he is a switch hitter. So Jerry White stepping in against Royce. 4-8. And that's a 1-15 single, but that's a 17, so he's going to ground to third. 2 down. And unfortunately, had we used Francona, the 4-8 against the lefty would have been a straight out single. But, you know, you're playing the percentages. What can you say? All right, so 2 outs and the bases are clear for Tim Raines. Don't know if he can get on base and get something started this late. 4-9. Well, he might. 1's a double. That's a single. Single for Rock Raines. And again, if he can steal and get in scoring position, that would help them. So they're going to try it. It'd be a 1-15, assuming he can get the jump. That's an 8. He cannot get the jump, so he will not try it. He will, of course, be held, but he won't be able to go anywhere. And Al Oliver, the batter. 5-4. Fly ball center field X. That is Guerrero. He is a 4. That hurt him on the very first play of the game. It's his second chance of the game defensively. It's a 4-9. 4-18. That'll be okay for Guerrero. 4-18. And let's see what that is. I believe it's probably an F2. 4-18 is an F2. And that is a 14. He is an E9. But unfortunately for Guerrero, as a center fielder, an E9, a 14 is a 2-base error. So it's a 2-base error on Guerrero. E8, and that's going to put Raines to third base with 2 outs. So it may end up not hurting the Dodgers after all. We'll wait and see. No run scored just yet, but the tying runs are now in scoring position for Andre Dawson, and that's not a good sign if you're the Dodgers. And you wonder about Royce. Do you stick with Royce or not, or do you go to the bullpen? Pitcher is set to hit second next inning, but they might just need somebody to get him out of this jam. Let's see what they decide to do here. They're actually going to stick with Royce. Lasorda came out, gave a pep talk to Royce, and he's going to stick with him. Nothing going on there. Royce to Dawson. 3-2, and that's a ground ball back to Royce to end the inning. And so the confidence in Royce paid off. Expos held to just a 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left. Go to the bottom of the 6th. It is 5-3. And we got a new pitcher coming up for the Expos. I think that's going to be all for Royce too, because his turn's coming up in the order as well. But first things first, let's go to the bullpen for the Expos. And they will turn to... Boy, who you turn to at this point? They're going to turn to some of their bullpen guys, other than Reardon, are not very good. Schatzeder's not very good, and Burris. Those are the 2 guys they have. They'll go with Ray Burris, the right-hander. 4-14, a 4.73 ERA, 15 starts. He did have 2 saves. So Ray Burris is going to come on. Try to keep the score where it is. Bill Russell, the leadoff hitter, and then we'll get a pinch hitter for Royce, and that will be Ken Landreau, who did not start the game, but certainly he'll come in and pinch hit. So it'll be Russell, Landreau, and Sachs against Ray Burris. 3-7, fly to center, so he gets Russell. 1 away. And that brings up Mr. Landreau, pinch hitter. He'll take his hacks at Ray Burris. 3-3, and that's a ground ball to short. Spire is there, 2 down, so 2 up and 2 down. Burris, I think, getting some benefits by getting off the batter card instead of his own. And here's Steve Sachs. 5-10, Ballpark single check. Right-hander's a 1-9, but that's an 11, so it's a liner to short. And Ray Burris pitches a 1-2-3 6th inning. And after 6 complete, it is LA 5 and Montreal 3. And now we need a new pitcher for the Dodgers, as Royce goes 6 innings. And we'll close the book on Royce. 6 innings, 3 runs. They were all earned. Did give up 1 home run. Let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits in those 6 innings. So he scattered left a lot of guys on base and pitched around a lot of trouble. He did avoid the walks. That helped him quite a bit. He hit a batter, but he didn't walk anybody. So the no walks certainly helped. Strikeouts, not that many. He struck out Dawson twice, and that was it. So no walks, 2 strikeouts for Royce. And now we go to the bullpen, and they're going to go to the guy who pitched very well for him previously, and that's Joe Beckwith. So Joe Beckwith is on. Could go with Niedenfuhr, but Beckwith pitched pretty well. They're going to see if they can ride the hot hand. And Joe Beckwith is on to face Carter, Wallach, and Cromartie. So Carter will start things off against Mr. Beckwith. Here in the top of the 7th, 111. It's a ballpark single check. That's an 18, so it's a liner to short. 1 away, and that's going to send us to Tim Wallach, third baseman. Wallach is 2 for 3, 2 singles. 2-6, and this time he grounds it to Bill Russell. 2 down, and that's going to send it to Warren Cromartie. Cromartie, the batter. 2-9 for Cromartie, and that's a single. There's a clutch there, but nobody's on base, so the single will stand. And Cromartie is on. He will not be held. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Spire, who is the tying run at the plate. He's a triple away from the cycle. And let's see if he does have a triple chance here at a 110 and a 1 through 6 on the D20. He would need that combination to get a triple. It's the only triple available to him, unless it's a failed X chance that goes for a triple. That's the other opportunity. So let's see what he can do here. First of all, the havoc. Well, there's no havoc. Well, there will be a havoc because you could get a pass ball chance. So 2 is a pass ball chance, and we certainly got it. No, it's a 1 actually. It's a balk chance. So nothing happened there. So Beckwith to Spire. 2-4. So this time it's a ballpark single check. That's a 20, so he's going to line it to short to end the inning. And I think Chris Spire's chance at a cycle has just gone out the wayside unless we go to extra innings. So that's going to do it for the Expos. Beckwith pitches very well. And now we go to the 7th inning stretch with the score. Still Dodgers 5, Expos 3. And now that we're at the 7th inning stretch, I'm going to stand up myself and take a quick stretch break, check everything out through the camera, make sure everything's looking okay. Nothing's been knocked around or anything, so looks like we're still copacetic. All right, so Ray Burris will be facing Rick Monday, Pedro Guerrero, and Ron Cey for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 7th. 4-9 against the lefty. That's a 1-11 home run chance. That's a 10. He has normal power. That is gone. Rick Monday hits a home run. Although I'm posting this on a Wednesday, he hits the home run for Rick Monday, and it's a 6-3 ball game as the Dodgers get a insurance run that definitely helps them out quite a bit. Here's Pedro Guerrero. 2-7, and that's a ground ball to short. So Burris, the one time he got something off his own card and it got him in trouble. Here's Ron Cey. 111, and that's a ballpark home run chance. It's only a 1-2 though, so a 7's going to fail to fly to left. So Dodger Stadium doesn't give up the home run ball that often, so Cey hurt by that and just flies it deep to left for Tim Raines at the warning track. Here's Steve Garvey. 1-5, that's a solid single for Garvey, a 2-out single. He will not be held. And that's going to turn it over to Dusty Baker. Havoc roll for Burris. Nothing happening. 4-7, and that's a walk. So Burris getting in trouble now with 2 outs. And you wonder if they might bring in the lefty to face Scioscia. I think they will. So even though Schatzader's not very good, they're going to bring him in to face Scioscia, the lefty. So the Expos are making the move to the bullpen. And they will bring in Dan Schatzader. Dan Schatzader 1-6 with a 5.32 ERA, 4 starts and no saves, but he does have the relief rating. So he is there. So Dan Schatzader will try to get out of the mess on behalf of Ray Burris as he's facing the lefty Scioscia. Havoc roll for Schatzader. Nothing happening. Here's the pitch to Scioscia with 2 on, 2 out, and a run in. Lefty on lefty, 5-7. Bad news, that's a double right there. 5-7 is a double. That will score another run. Baker might score as well. We'll have to wait and see. The double is assumed to go to center field. I'm sorry, it says left field right here in parentheses. My bad. It does go to the left, which is big because Dawson in center is a -2, but Raines is a +1. So Garvey will score for sure. Baker runs at a 12. He was not being held, makes him a 13. There are 2 outs, makes him a 15. Plus the 1 from Raines is a 16. 1-16. They got to throw for it, and if it goes through, Scioscia will go to third on the throw, but they got to try to get the runner out. And they don't, so it's a 2-run single. Those 3 runs now are charged to Ray Burris. You can close the book on Burris for 3 runs. And it is now 8-3 Dodgers. And Scioscia will take third on the throw. That's one of the super advanced things. If you don't cut the throw, the runner goes. But they had to try for it, even though the odds weren't in their favor. They just had to, because you just don't want to take a chance. So what are you going to do? All right. Next up is Bill Russell, followed by the pitcher spot, Beckwith. And if you walk Russell, you're just going to pinch hit for Beckwith, so you might as well pitch to Russell. 1 chance for a wild pitch, and he's got a wild pitch rating of 12. Nope, no wild pitch. Carter blocks it. So here's the pitch to Russell for 4, and that's a catcher X. And Carter's a 1E4. 1 and a 9 for a catcher. A 1 and a 9. 1 and a 9 for a catcher is a pop out. And that's a 15, and he is an E4. There's a 16, 17, and 18, but no 15, so it's just going to be a pop out. And that gets him out of the inning. But 3 runs are in. Like I said, they're all charged to Burris, so we can close the book on Burris now. He goes an inning and 2/3. He's going to give up 2 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, didn't strike anybody out. And of course the big home run. Schatzader goes a 1/3 of an inning, gives up a hit, nothing else. Of course he is coming out because he's going to be pinch hit for in the top half of the 8th. So Beckwith's still in there because they didn't get to his spot in the order, so he's still going to pitch. He will continue to pitch. He will pitch in the top of the 8th. And we need a pinch hitter for the Expos, and it will be Terry Francona. So Francona, 321 hitter and 131 at bats, loaded with singles. So Francona will lead off as a pinch hitter. Actually, he's going to bat second, my bad. You got Doug Flynn first. So Flynn, and they could pinch hit for Flynn too. Let's see what they want to do with this. Do they want to pinch hit for Flynn or not? Flynn as a hitter, 244. Don't know if they have a whole lot better on the bench. I'm not seeing a whole lot better on the bench. No, I don't see anybody better than that, so they're going to stick with Flynn, I think. Actually, you know what? They're going to bring a lefty, Mike Gates. Mike Gates is going to pinch hit. So we're going to have Gates pinch hit for Flynn. He'll stay in the game to play second base in the 9th. It's a 3-13 with a 12. So Gates will lead off. So 2 pinch hitters in a row. Gates followed by Francona against Beckwith, but it is 8-3. Dodgers pretty much in control. 3-12 for Gates, and that's a split chance on the super advanced. 1-7's a hit. That's a 15 though, so he lines it to second. And there's 1 away. And Flynn on a 3-12 would have grounded to first, so it didn't matter. It would have been out either way. So 1 away, and here is Terry Francona, pinch hitter. Against Beckwith, 5-6 against a left-hander. Struck him out. So Beckwith gets the second out. 2 up, 2 down for Tim Raines. .27 for Raines, and all these hits in column 2, and he found the ground ball to Steve Sachs. Just the kind of game it's been for the Expos. So, as someone once said, the sun doesn't shine on the same dog's butt every day. Today it's the Dodgers' time for them to shine. So now we go to the bullpen for the Expos to pitch the bottom of the 8th and kind of mop up duty. And they don't really have any mop up guys because they used all their bullpen already. So they're going to have to go with Jeff Reardon to pitch here in the... He will pitch here in the bottom of the 8th. Only has to go 1 inning though, so he should be okay. I don't think it'll hurt him if he has to come back tomorrow in game, assuming there's a game 4. I think he'll be okay with that. So for the Dodgers, they will get a pinch hitter coming in for Beckwith. And let's see who they might want to use. They've already used Landreau. They can use Ron Renicky. I think that's who they're going to use. Switch hitting Ron Renicky. He will get a chance to swing. Ron Renicky. He will pinch hit here in the bottom of the 8th against Mr. Reardon. Reardon is pitcher number 6 used by the Expos. Renicky switch hitter against Reardon. 2-8, and that's all he hits in column 2. He found a fly to left. So 1 away as Renicky is retired. Top of the order now for Steve Sachs. 1-6, that's a ground ball to short. Spire is there, 2 down. So if Reardon can go 1, 2, 3, that'll be, he won't have very much fatigue factors going into tomorrow. Here's Rick Monday. 1-6, that's a walk. So Rick Monday with a 2-out walk, he will not be held. He will not go anywhere. And Pedro Guerrero, the batter. 5-7, and he struck him out. So Reardon only had to face 4 batters, so that wasn't too bad. A walk and a strikeout, nothing else. So we go to the top of the 9th, last chance for the Expos. They trail it 8-3. Dodgers will make some defensive changes to shore up their defense in the last inning, just to make sure they don't give up anything cheap. Guerrero will be removed from center field. They will go with Daryl Thomas in center field. So Daryl Thomas will take over in center field. He is a 2 E10, arm of 0. So Daryl Thomas will take over there. And in right field, Ron Renicky will take over from Monday. So Renicky, when he pinch hit, will stay in the game to play right field. And he is a 2, a 5, and a -2 arm. So that means the pitcher up here, once we figure out who that is, will hit in the number 2 spot, which would be like the number 8 hitter in the inning going forward. So let's see who the new pitcher is going to be in an 8-3 game. It's going to be Alejandro Pena. They will save Niedenfuhr and Howe for game 4, assuming there is a game 4. So they're going to go with Alejandro Pena, and of course if Pena gets in trouble, they will remove him. Now Beckwith went 2 innings, gave up 1 hit and no runs. So once again, a stellar outing for Beckwith. No walks and a strikeout. So Beckwith has been their best reliever by far. And so he may get more high leverage situations later on. Right now it's going to be Al Oliver, Andre Dawson, and Gary Carter. So Pena gets the heart of the order here in the top of the 9th. But he does have a 5-run cushion. That 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th were huge. Pena to Oliver, 2-9. 2-9's a ground ball to Sachs. 1 away. It's going to bring up the Hawk, Andre Dawson. 4-3, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-9, that's a 7. That's a base hit. And you know by now you don't expect a 1-2-3 9th inning in these replays. Dawson will not be held, and he's not going to go anywhere. Actually, he will take second on defensive indifference. They didn't hold him, so he said, what the heck, I'll take second base. Not that it matters, but he does. It takes away the double play. That's about all it does. Nothing there. Here's the pitch to Carter. 5-7. It's a 1-15 single, so it's going to move Dawson to third base. So he's at third. Carter's at first. Runners on the corners with 1 out. Carter will not be held. And that'll bring up Tim Wallach. Pena 1, chance for a wild pitch. It's 14, so it's blocked by Scioscia. So here's the pitch to Wallach. Infield double play depth. 6-9, and that's a fly to center, so that will score the run. So the defensive indifference might give the Expos an extra run. Cut the lead to 8-4 on the sacrifice fly. But now there are 2 outs, and it's all down to Warren Cromartie with Carter at first and 2 down. 5-7 against the lefty. That's a single 2-star, so the defensive indifference did not make a difference in this case. He would have scored either way. Carter will now go to third on the base hit by Cromartie. And now all of a sudden, it's getting interesting. It's 8-4. And Chris Spire, the batter, he gets another opportunity to get a triple if he can. Like I said, the one chance on his card to get a triple is he's got to roll a 110 and then a 1-6 on the D20. That's the only way he can do it. If anybody gets on, they will bring in Steve Howe to finish the game. So this is Pena's last batter, one way or the other. 3-9, and he struck him out. So Chris Spire out on strikes to end the ball game. Pena, a little rough in the 9th, but handles it. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. He ends up no walks and a strikeout. So we look at the totals. Dodgers win game 3, continue the series. They cut the lead in the Expo lead to 2-1 in the series. There will be a game 4 after all. For the Expos, 4 runs. They do it on 15 hits. So how about that? 15 hits, but only 4 runs. Let's see how many left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They left 12 on base. So that was a big bugaboo for the Expos, leaving on 12. For the Dodgers, 8 runs. They do it on 11 hits. And see how many they left on. Not that many, maybe. Well, let's say left the bases loaded here. That's 3. And 1 here and 2 here is 5. 6, 7. They left 7 on base. All right, so there you have it. Game 3 in the books. Dodgers stave off elimination with a victory of 8-4, and they did it with a 4-run first inning. Pedro Guerrero really got him going with the home run, but it was the Baker triple that really blew it open. And so, not sure who you want to give the game, player of the game to. You could give it to Baker for his triple. Could give it to Guerrero for hitting the home run. Could give it to Royce for pitching, pretty well. 6 innings, 3 runs. So there's a whole bunch of guys you could possibly give it to, but either way you slice it, we go to a game 4. And now the question is, if you're the Dodgers, I think you come back with Fernando. I think they're going to skip the turn of Bert Hooton and go to Fernando. And for the Expos, I believe the Expos are going to right-hander Scott Sanderson. He will be the pitcher in game number 4. And they will go with, instead of Hooton, who was 4-7 with a 4.03 ERA, since he didn't pitch that many innings in game 1, Fernando will come back and pitch game 4 and try to keep the tide going, because if you save him for game 5, there may not be a game 5. So it's going to be Sanderson against Valenzuela in game 4. And so the Expos looking to clinch it here at Dodger Stadium, but Dodgers had other ideas. Tommy Lasorda encouraging his team, as he usually does, keeps the Dodgers in it. And so the Dodgers come away with an 8-4 victory here in game number 3. Till next time, which in the next video it would be game 3 of the ALCS, in which the Brewers are in the same boat the Dodgers are. They're down 0-2, but they are going home to face Kansas City. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. I will see you all down the road.